Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome to the You Hear Us live show, specifically on YouTube. Search You Hear Us, and we are presented by PrizePicks, a daily fantasy app simplified. Download the app, use code You Hear Us. You'll get 100% deposit match when you use our code, up to $100. So you throw 100 on there, you're going to get 100 free play. Pick the right ones, you win some money, and joining me, like always, he's in the studio tonight. I'm at home running the ones and twos on the computer. We are fresh out the COVID cave. Second show, first live one since. But let's welcome the co-host, Trent Steps.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Happy to be here. Definitely happy to be out of the COVID cave. Yeah, it sucks. Let me tell you, I'm just happy to go outside. See
Yes,
that
it
daily,
was
even though
it
it's
was
cold
nice
out,
just to go outside for sure.
just to go outside.
There was a couple of days that it was actually pretty warm when we had COVID, and we couldn't do anything besides just
Yeah,
cough up
yeah.
our lungs and all that. But it looks like after the COVID cave, we got. I think we're twins now.
I
I
mean,
can't tell a difference in us when we got the
no,
swag on, looking good.
looking good.
Nope. Had our guy Dallas Smith over at Nitro Promo here in Fort Scott, Kansas, hook us up. Since I asked him very nicely, I bought some of these hoodies for Christmas, for a Christmas gift, and I said, "Hey, you think you can throw a logo on there?" He said, "Of course." They turned out amazing.
Yes.
These are embroidered. We do plan on getting some shirts, some hats, some hoodies, some swag out there here soon for any of our listeners or anybody that wants to support. It's a great way to support. You can just, it's free pub when you wear the shirt, and we're gonna make sure they fit and they feel really comfortable. I don't know if
Right.
we're gonna go Charlie Hustle because those are nice shirts, but we'll do something. We'll make sure if it looks good. We'll make sure the hats look good.
Yeah, it won't be out there looking. You won't be out there looking homely or anything like that. You'll still
No,
be looking fresh.
unless you like that Kanye look, then we can cut a couple holes in the shirts and stuff for you. You can
Yeah.
you can look good. But enough about that. Let's get into the sports talk of tonight, January 26th. This unfortunately we'll get into that later, but this date is tough for a lot of people. If you followed NBA or you followed really anything, Kobe Bean Bryant tragically passed away with a few others in a helicopter accident 2 years ago on this day, including his daughter Gigi. Um, Rest in peace to all them, and our thoughts and prayers are to his family and everybody else that survived, and the families of the other families that were involved in the accident. But we don't want to dwell too much into that. I think we'll get into that a little later to end the
Yeah.
show of our um, favorite memory of Kobe Bryant or something like that. But let's get into the Hall of Fame first tonight. It's kind of
Mm.
been a very touchy subject. Some people
Hot
are
topic.
for it, some people are against it. I'm in the latter that I'm definitely against what they did. Uh, if you see our prize pick sticker down low, it's talking about it. But first off, I do want to shout out David Ortiz for getting into the Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer. Congratulations to him. So he just is deserving. I don't know if he's first ballot, but he did do a lot. I mean, when it comes to the backstory, when it comes to what happened with the Boston Bomber, what he did on the field, everything like that, amazing for him to get in. But if you all know David Ortiz, he was actually named on the Mitchell report for
hmm
steroids. He was on
hmm
the steroid report. Uh, Now, he's not going to go down as one of the greatest ever to do it. He's obviously in the Hall of Fame, but when you think of the greatest hitter ever or the greatest home run hitter or anything like that, you think Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Duh.
Unfortunately, Barry Bonds did not get into the Hall of Fame, along with Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, and Kirk Schilling. All of them that they didn't get in for was mainly because of their attitude. Because it can't be for steroids. Because we just mentioned that David Ortiz was named on the same Mitchell report that Barry Bonds was, that Barry Bonds admitted to taking steroids, that, Roger Clemens was mentioned on, but he never once said that he took steroids. He still denies it to this day. So it can't be for the whole steroids thing because David Ortiz is in there. So if you're going by steroids, that's out of the picture. So it comes back to how they treated the media, how the media respected them, how they thought it was going, and that's where I draw the line of letting just only the media do a percentage votes to get people into the Hall of Fame
Right.
because you don't need these generational players, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, not to be in the Hall of Fame whatsoever.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense that they're not in the Hall of Fame. And one, I don't exactly know how they're voted in. I know there's media writers. Is there anybody else besides media writers, or is it just
Just
media?
the Baseball Writers of America, I think BBWA. That's the Hall of Fame votes to get
Right.
in this way. There is other ways to get in, but to get in, just the first, like, be a first ballot Hall of Famer or be on the
Right.
ballot Hall of Fame wise, this is the way you get in, is by the writers voting you in.
And I mean this with all due respect. How many of these are just wrinkly old white men or black men or just people who,
Old whites. That's what you'd call
yeah,
them. And I mean, I would say probably at
old
least
of all color
yes,
and like and they just brought up in the old style of
yeah,
baseball.
yeah. Where you bring up whites, you bring up old people. I mean, you bring up what the game used to be, the pastime of the game. The thing is we have racists, we have bigots, we have not so good people in the Hall of Fame, but because of possible steroids or they weren't Kurt Schilling, they say he's so far right that they don't even want to put him in
Yeah,
because of
I heard he's
his
just a
past.
nut job.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't
yeah. Sammy
like.
Sosa, he had a cork bat. He had
Hey, my man looks like a ball of Pepto Bismol right now.
yeah, he's changing color. He's looking like Michael Jackson out here. Uh,
Yeah.
Barry Bonds linked to steroids. He broke all the records. They hate that he has records because he was linked to steroids. And then Roger Clemens, who has vehemently denied.
Yeah.
That's a tough word, but hey,
It's
we're out here.
get hooked on phonics.
Knocked it out. Knocked it out of the park, kind of. I kind of have a stuttering problem sometimes, but Roger
You don't.
Clemens denied ever taking steroids and has never came out to it. He was on the Mitchell Report. That's the only time that he's been linked to steroids,
Mm-hmm.
and he's 4,000 strikeouts or something like that. I mean, he has like records
Something
on top of
absurd.
records, like something stupid that
Yeah.
you would never think like anybody else is gonna be close to breaking. One of my buddies was just like, "Well, I don't want him in there because he was a Yankee." So I mean, that's like a different story. But like,
You know what? What's funny is I'd almost be okay if they said because he was on the Yankees, I don't want him in the Hall, instead of how he's getting treated now.
exactly,
I mean,
they're just saying, "Oh, it's steroids." No, you're hiding behind steroids. Like that's what I was talking to Dakota and Devin today on lunch, and I just mentioned, I said, that's like say I'm an up and coming writer and I'm writing for the Royals or something. Mike Trout comes to town, Angels. He had a bad game, something like that. Maybe he got the golden sombrero, 4 strikeouts, and I
Mhm.
say, "Hey man, tough game today. How's that make you feel being in Kauffman Stadium and you strike out?" And he says something bad to me. Like he's just like, what? Screw you for even asking me about strikeouts. Everybody strikes out. You couldn't come up here and hit a baseball. Yada yada yada. All that. You know, I get mad at that he talks to me like that. 20 years down the road, he's on the Hall of Fame ballot.
I didn't vote for him.
I ain't voting for him. He treated me
Exactly.
like shit that day. Well, of course he treated you like shit. You asked him about some negative things. He's in a hostile environment, or he's talking to a beat writer for an opposite team. He's not going to treat you the way. That's what the BBWA is just all these beat writers for baseball teams. So
Let me ask you a question because me and my baseball knowledge is not very good.
mhm.
So would you be okay with if they're like, all right, we'll let Sosa, Clemens, Schilling, and Bonds in the Hall of Fame, but there's an asterisk by them, like, hey, take these numbers with a grain of salt because this is during the steroid era. They've been accused of using steroids, or does it actually even matter? Because it comes down to it, like you could juice or whatever, but you still got to hit a curveball, still got to hit a fastball. I mean, I can't.
Steroids.
There's some
Yeah.
great hand-eye coordination that comes with it, not just the power that comes with it.
Steroids helped people, you know, reach a competitive edge.
Yeah.
Now, to me personally, they were in after the lockout was in a terrible, baseball was almost over. It was great before the lockout. After the lockout, it's never really been back to what it was before that. America's pastime, you could say. So, obviously steroids give you a competitive edge. I agree with that. I also think damn near 80% of the league was probably taking steroids.
Wow.
Or they were on cocaine, or they were doing something like they were taking prescription drugs that weren't prescribed to them to stay focused on the game, Adderall, anything like that. So I feel like baseball has been tainted for years over drugs, steroids, anything to get a competitive edge. Like Adderall could be a competitive edge because if it helps you focus, you're going to take it to play 9 innings, a 4.5-hour game sometimes to stay in tune with what's going on. So
yeah.
With that being said, there is a steroid era. Guess what there also is? There was also the Negro League era where they couldn't even play in the MLB. And yeah, they can get voted in now. But guess what? They're like,
happened, didn't it?
huh?
Didn't that just happen? Like they just now allowed like
Yeah.
or maybe it's
Like we
stats.
have the Negro Leagues Hall of Fame in Kansas
It's
City.
Kansas City,
Yeah.
but I thought they just now let some of that stuff like be like notified for the actual baseball Hall
Yeah.
of Fame.
And yeah, and I'm not saying like Babe Ruth wasn't amazing. He was. But like there's players that are in the Hall of Fame that didn't have to go play against some of these great all-time Negro League pitchers,
Mm-hmm.
like that's out there. We had we have the Buck O'Neill legacy seat. I mean, he got to play in the MLB some, but like also like that there's players that played in those Negro leagues that would probably make some of these people that played in the MLB at the time that they had separate leagues absolutely look stupid and they wouldn't have been there. But we don't allow like they're not in there because we got all this to change. But then steroid era, yeah. So like you have eras every single decade. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in '80s you have
Dude,
not
how
Dwight
much
Goodman. You had
drugs?
all them dudes taking cocaine
I
for
was
the
gonna say
Mets. Yeah,
Daryl Strawberry.
yeah. You're telling me that's not a competitive
30
edge? Yeah. I mean, you got these guys out here just going crazy on that. So you got to let them in. The hall it's like a popularity contest in a sense, though. Like it's history. It's a museum. You're not just gonna in a museum. You're not gonna say, all right, well, actually, the late 1990s to the 2010s never happened. That
Right.
they didn't play baseball then because that's basically what you're doing. And then you're gonna be like, wow, this guy, batted 290 and he's in the Hall of Fame and he won 3 World
Yeah.
Series. There's nobody that batted better than 290
Right.
and 30 home runs at this time. Like that's crazy. Like the Hall of
They
Fame
need
is to
a
tell
lot
a
of stuff.
story.
Yeah.
You
They
got to
need a
have
lot
it
of
in there.
stuff to be imperfect. To be okay with being with imperfection, because they're so busy and caught up. We got to keep the holy name of baseball and to make it all perfect for everybody. Look, it's an imperfect game. I mean, look at it. You got to if you're a 300 level hitter for your career, like you just said, you're a Hall of Famer.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
fail 7 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Yeah,
And
they got.
a lot of
Yeah.
people say the steroid era helped keep baseball alive, and then there's other people that said actually it killed it because guess what baseball is now? Home run or strikeout. Like there might
Mhm.
not be a whole bunch of 300 level hitters. Well, that's fine. But like my biggest thing with Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens are the two that I think are snubs. Sammy Sosa, that's a different story. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he hit 60 some home runs, but guess what? He never led the league that in a year of home runs of the
Mhm.
years that he hit 60. Kurt Schilling, to me, not amazing regular season stats, but when it came postseason, he was
He was a
postseason
win.
P. I mean, he was playoff. He
Yeah.
was bloody sock and all. But like you have the bloody sock in the Hall of Fame. I guarantee you have the home run of Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. But you're not
Mhm.
gonna have the people that did it. You're gonna have the commissioner of the league that allowed it all to happen, Bud Selig, in the Hall of Fame. But you can't
Yeah.
have the players. Like
No.
it's egregious to me. It's terrible. Hopefully, I think, in December, I think they can, it's the same way Tim Kirchin, he's
Mhm.
ESPN analyst, got in, is that other people actually vote for it besides them. So there's a good chance they get in, but 10 years, like that is insane that
No.
I understand don't make them first ballot if you're making a case.
Yeah, that
Don't
makes
put
sense.
them on the first 9. But when it comes down to this, the last one, and you're sitting here not putting players that were generational talents, the best players on the field at the time, into the Hall of Fame, your vote should be taken away. You shouldn't get a vote on stuff like that because you're so out of touch.
Right. So I got a two-part question for you. Take away. How long did I think Bonds was supposedly using?
But did he play 20 years or something like that? Because
Yeah.
so
So take away.
Bonds before steroids was before my time, really.
Right.
But everybody said even before the steroids, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Take it. Part of his career out. Does he still have Hall of Fame numbers?
Just take
Yeah.
the part out of when his neck went from this to this, and then
Yeah.
see if he's still a Hall of Famer. Because I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he led the Pirates in hits and like all that stuff. So I think he can handle that.
The next question is, and I saw this on either Instagram or Twitter today, and you can tell me, and I have a feeling how crazy it is, but you can tell me how crazy it is that you have a bases loaded game and you're down, I think the Giants were down two, or they're down 2 runs. No, up 2 runs.
Yeah,
Something
I
like
know what you're talking about. Like they
Yeah.
walk him still,
They
like
walked Barry Bonds and they walked in a run, like,
because
and
they're not
how
allowing him to hit a
absurd-
granny. Yeah,
Yeah,
because anything
never-
around the plate, guess what? Steroids ain't helping you, make contact like with anything around the plate. Now, granted, does your ball go a little further if you hit it? Yes, but go get me an NFL football player that's taking steroids, and then give me a pitcher that's taking steroids or something to boost their energy, and put that football player in there and see if that guy can hit a ball like Barry Bonds did. And I guarantee you they can't.
no. I just remember I've also heard stories that asked Barry Bonds like, "How come you can't teach other people to hit like you?" He's like, "Because I can't. Like I just got it. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know what else to tell you. Some people are just built like this. Is some people are just built different, and he was one of them."
exactly. And so to lean off of that and get into present time instead of past players, we do have a superstar in the making. I would say in the NFL that thinks he deserves a shot at the MLB now. He was drafted. I'm 80% sure. I didn't look into this that much, but I'm pretty sure AJ Brown was actually drafted by the Padres. That's why he added the Padres in this tweet. He said, and I quote from AJ Brown, he's at one Cowways open. Sometimes I think about playing both sports again. At Padres, all I need is a workout. I still got shade. I'm assuming that's what shades is right there. He said, I promise I will do better than Michael Jordan in baseball. I mean,
First of all, I didn't even know AJ Brown played baseball.
oh yeah, he was I mean, I
I didn't know
guess
he
he was a
was a
center
freak.
fielder. He was an animal. Yeah,
Hey, he. I mean, look at the guy. I'm pretty sure he was a stud at every sport he touched.
exactly. I mean, like Lorenzo Kane. I don't know if he played football or anything like that, but like he's
You know, he
amazing.
did football. His mom said he would get hurt.
Oh
I
yeah, that's
remember.
right. But like Lorenzo Kane is one of those that he's just an absolute athlete on a baseball field.
Mhm.
So like we enjoyed watching him. He put butts in the seats. Like AJ Brown is in Tennessee. I don't think there's any Tennessee baseball teams, so
No,
it would be tough to go obviously go Padres and then back to the Titans. But like it would be one of those. It wouldn't be terrible if he got to go to uh, Tennessee for a few like games, and then when the regular season of the Titans started, he played with them. But then he go for the Padres in the summer, like or just get a
right.
workout. Go like Russell Wilson, mess around a little bit, see what it's all about. Um, Wide receiver is not quarterback position, so it's not like I mean, it's a necessity. But with Ryan Tannehill, you throwing you the football, like maybe you'd rather go catch some baseballs for a little while.
I
But
mean, he ain't gonna give him the ball anyway. He gonna throw interception the first play
exactly,
and last play at that.
yeah, stat that. But anyway, my thing of this is that he didn't actually come for the best two sport athlete in baseball football. He didn't say I'm going to be better than Deion Sanders.
No,
He just said I'm going to be better than Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure if you make it to the MLB, you're already better than Michael Jordan. So, um,
that's true.
now Michael Jordan did it for other reasons. He was trying to like probably a mental thing after his father got murdered, stuff like that. But like, I would love to see AJ Brown do it. I want to see more two sport athletes or even
Oh,
three sport
sure.
athletes. I'd like Tyreek Hill running the Olympics would have been cool. Maybe if he wins the Super Bowl this year, I'm pretty sure it's on that he's running racing against Usain Bolt. So that'd be pretty cool
Yeah.
to see. Um, but like AJ Brown playing baseball, it's not a physical sport. It's not a sport that you're probably gonna get hurt on. I mean, it's straight line speed. It's cut.
Mhm.
It's not like even crazy cuts. It's tracking balls. I'd let him do it. I think it'd be
I
fun.
would love to see AJ Brown track a ball in center field and then try to hose somebody out. The dude's probably got a gun too.
I would love to see if he has a cannon. Like maybe he's just fast and can't hit worth a lick. But
That's true.
I mean, I bet he's probably something special.
Hey,
That I mean,
it might treat him like Terrence Gore. I don't even know if Terrence Gore has a glove to say, "Hey, go out there and be fast." You know what I'm saying?
exactly. And it works. I mean, he
It
goes out,
works. Yeah.
steals bases and
He's,
everything.
he's got 2 World Series rings.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Deion Sanders. There's actually another guy that during Deion Sanders' time played, and
Bo
maybe
Jackson.
his name was Brian Jordan. He actually played for the Falcons as well, and played in the MLB with the Braves.
Another one, Kenny Lofton. No,
Yeah.
no, he didn't. Never
No,
mind, not
Kenny
Kenny.
Lofton. Yeah.
Lofton played it. He was a D1 basketball player. But somebody else I'm thinking of that did it too, and I cannot. Uh, yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
My Potter's here in the office. He's in the chat. I forgot to say that.
Oh, you're good.
Potter's in the chat, helping us out in the chat, and he's throwing names out here in the background.
But yeah, Brian Jordan is he's coming to the Special Olympics golf tournament here in Fort Scott,
Yes.
Kansas. Later, we might try to get him on the show. Possibly, Steve is reaching out to see if we can do it. But AJ Brown was drafted in the 19th round of the 2016 MLB draft. He played at Ole Miss.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that's where he played base or football too. I'm trying to look up any baseball stats if he has any. Top recruit for both football and baseball. Brown became the second player after Kyler Murray to play in both Under Armour American All-American football game and the Under Armour All-America baseball game in
So
2016.
he was legit.
Yeah.
Did not know
Consensus
that.
4-star prospect by major recruiting services. He was ranked the number 45 overall recruit by Scout, number 47, yada, yada, yada. Number
Parents,
5 wide
if
receiver.
you listen to this, stop specializing your kids in sports. Let these kids play all the sports they want to.
Absolutely. And I did like a tweet earlier at some point in the time, and it was like talking about all these players that are in the or all the quarterbacks. It was quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
that were still in the playoffs in the divisional round that played every single one of them played at least 2 sports.
Right.
Brian Tannehill, I think, played 4. He actually played basketball. You know, he does the finger roll. We talked about that on the sport or on the show that we were like, maybe he's working on it because he never played. But he played football, baseball, basketball, and he ran track.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes did he did the 3 main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Josh Allen played. I think Josh Allen just played basketball and football. I could be wrong, but like several of them played.
Somebody else did track. I think I saw a track little shirt thing on the emoji. That's what I'm looking for. Or whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's why people only play one sport, especially you know, in other sports. I guess it's kind of okay that they don't like maybe like baseball. You could get hurt if you play football, kind of thing. Basketball, you could get hurt, like all that. But like if you play football, you need to wrestle, you need to do something along with it.
Yeah.
Because like baseball helps with being able to track stuff, hand-eye coordination. Wrestling helps with your flexibility, your movement, like especially if you're a lineman. Like football is really good for you. The Australian Open, Dakota, we are actually not going to speak about it because nope, Trent, we're not speaking about it on this show. They let our boy Djokovic. They did not let Djokovic go for 10. So
and I lost money, so screw him.
Okay, well you can here. Breaking news: we are doing our 10 seconds Australian Open discussion starting now. Trent, take it away.
I really haven't kept up with it as much as I want to. I am, well, I actually have a story about that, but it's too long for 10 seconds. We'll do another time about Nadal being a cheater out there on the court.
And that has been your Australian Open news on the You Hear Us show. Now, back to the main sports.
I don't want to get in a rant on that one because I do have a rant on that.
Maybe we'll get that. We'll do a rant session with Trent Steps here later on in the show, and maybe he can rant about it. But I was trying to find it. But, yeah, I mean, do 2 sports. Do 3 sports. Do more than 1 sport if you play football because it's going to help you in the long run. Like, you can't specialize in just football. Even Arch Manning right now, I think he averages like 2 to 3 points a game in basketball. But guess what? He's out there.
He's out there. But, hey, Nick Saban even came out there.
Nick Saban and Kirby Smart both went to that game. And, like, everybody went crazy for it. That's, I mean, it's crazy to think that, like, these coaches would love you to play another sport because they can come in and watch you play that sport.
Yeah.
On an official visit, but not really because they're just coming to watch you do whatever.
Hey, what's funny is coaches actually do pay attention to that. This is so weird. I played tennis in high school. I know we had tennis discussion, but that's one of the ways I got recruited because one of my coaches came to watch me play tennis. It was like, he had good feet.
Yeah.
He goes, that's one of the reasons we recruited you. You had good feet. I watched you play tennis. I was like,
that's all I needed to know.
Yeah. Like, all right, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then kind of back real quick, we'll get out of baseball talk here in a second, but I do just want to show you Barry Bonds' snub. I mean, this is Barry Bonds' career. He's a 14-time MLB All-Star, 12-time Silver Slugger Award. He was a 8-time Gold Glove Award winner, 7-time National League MVP, 3-time National League Hank Aaron Award, 2-time National League batting champion, 2-time National League home run leader. The MLB records he holds: 762 career home runs, 73 home runs in a single season, 2,558 walks. And if Potter can, if he wants to, I need to know the second and third closest to that because I guarantee you it probably ain't even close. Then you have 7 MVP awards, which is the most all-time. You have 232 walks in a single season, which was probably the season that they walked him when the bases were loaded in the playoffs or all that. And then he has a 609 on base percentage that helps with the walks, and an 863 slugging percentage. Don't get me wrong. Maybe that thing in his back pocket, that chew can, helped him more than the steroids did. I don't know. That's gaining mental focus. I mean, that a lot of people chew because it helps you focus and it like gives you the release that you need, the endorphins or whatever in your brain. It helps you with all that. So I don't know. You see that? How's that right there not in
It-
the Hall of Fame?
It is just a bunch of haters. That's all it comes down to. Like, I don't. I know it sounds kind of corny,
Yeah.
but there's got. I don't know. Like you said earlier, what underlying thing you need to have. All right, hold on. Potter just took me up with the stats.
Mhm.
Okay, Barry Bonds walks 2,550. I think is what you said.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson is second
With
2,190, and Babe Ruth is third with 2,062.
yeah. So they're not even within 300 of them.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
How's
like
your hand-eye coordination?
yeah, exactly. I mean, and you're telling me this guy has all those walks, and most like probably 30% of them were intentional.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
easily.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like that's not in the playoffs. Or not in the playoffs, not
Yeah.
in the Hall of Fame. We got to
Right.
get him in somehow, some way. Get that man in the Hall of Fame. But moving on from the Hall of Fame, let's go to our college basketball talk now.
Uh-oh.
We have some, like, well, it's not quite college basketball yet. It is. We're going to talk on the All-Americans that have been named, and I kind of went through here the other day, and I'm just not seeing, unfortunately, too many North Carolina All-Americans going to North Carolina. Unfortunately, what I do see is 3 McDonald's All-Americans going to KU.
Well, good for Bill Self, your favorite coach.
Oh, absolutely. I love him. You know, he can recruit. He can get it. But my number one recruit for this year is definitely going to be this man right here, Grady Dick. I mean, I have a feeling I might have me a Dick jersey at KU.
Hey, how many? Oh my gosh, how many Dick memes or Dick?
I
saying
cannot
that
wait
gonna be
until
at Fieldhouse.
I cannot wait till these kids get a hold of Allen Fieldhouse when Grady Dick is on this team. It is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be hilarious. Like it's
Allen Fieldhouse will be X-rated. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like, actually, we cannot put you on.
Hey, and the Duke can hoop.
He can. He's McDonald's All-American too. It's not like he's a Tyler or a T hand that's sitting there that's gonna get in every 3 minutes. Like this guy might be a day one starter.
Yep. Potter texted me one day, and we were watching. I was supposed to be kind of working, but I took a little break and they were playing against IMG Academy, and he had like 19 in like the first half, and there's just raining threes. I mean, the dude can flat out go get it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun to watch him. It's also gonna be fun to watch Ernest Yuda. He's also gonna be in the game, and then there was one more, MJ Rice. But going along with Grady Dick, I do have my top 5 college basketball names ever. And the first, well, this isn't in any order. Actually, it is. Number 5 is David Baller. I mean, he was just College of Charleston. I mean, he was just meant to be a basketball player, a baller, basically. That was his last name. Sure. Number 4 could have been number 1, but I feel like it's a little X-rated, so I didn't go with it. Even more possibly X-rated than Grady Dick, because Dick is a known first and last name.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, starting, I don't know, point guard at Elon College, Chris Porn. I mean, is that not perfect?
Oh, man, you almost brought COVID back with me coughing on that.
Chris Porn going hard in the paint. Man, this porn is going hard tonight.
Hey, don't let Grady Dick be in the game with that dude.
Dick guarded by porn Dick down low. I mean, just it's great. I mean, these names, there was no way that I would have been able to watch these. No. I mean, I'd be laughing the whole time. Number 3, get back into the not made for or made for kids is Julius Allgood. That's his last name, Allgood.
It's all good, baby. Yes. It's all good.
All good for 3. All good. I mean, it'd be perfect. He played at Texas Pan American. And then number 2, I don't know how he got this last name. It's like an Ocho Cinco. Like, I'm wondering if they changed their name at one point to be, just crazy. First name Chief, go Kansas City. Last name Kicking Stallions Sims.
That's not real.
I swear. Played at Alabama State. Google his name. Chief Kicking Stallions Sims. Alabama State. Yes. And then if you're a little bit hungry, it's 9:01. Maybe you're looking for that late night stack. We have Parfait Bite. Played at Rhode Island.
Sorry, that caught me off guard.
Right?
Parfait bite.
I mean, but are those not just fantastic names?
Dude, those are awesome names. One of the greatest names I've ever heard. When my brother played at Pitt State, they played against Missouri Southern, and Missouri Southern's quarterback was named Cocaine Mothership.
What? He changed his name 100%.
No, and I'm pretty sure this. Hey, I'm gonna have to double check my sources, but I'm pretty sure that he had a sister named Mary Jane.
I wonder where their parents were at.
And then, represent the area.
Yeah.
There's two kids that get straight buckets at Joplin High School.
Yeah.
All
right. And then who was the other one?
Always right.
Always right. Yeah.
All right, or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. They play. They're football players too. So
yeah,
they're legit. They're going to be somewhere. They might make that list eventually here.
They're going to make that list next year, probably.
Yep. But that list, unfortunately, it's Grady Dick, and then we're tearing them all down.
Dick
I loved Pitt. You want to talk about Pitt State? Zach Dickey was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but that's not no Grady Dick.
No.
Or there's another. Isn't there a Dick something? What was his name? I think he plays for the. Is he gonna be a quarterback for the KU? I don't know. I'm pretty sure his first name's Richard. Oh no, the Royals. I mean, if we get into actual other sports, there's several of them. Mm-hmm. But you have Richard Lovelady for the Royals was a reliever. Dick Lovelady. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean his parents knew what they were doing when he put that on the board. But
sure.
Grady Dick will be playing in the All-American game eventually. I don't know when that usually is. I think it's April, maybe late February. I know it's not during March Madness. Could be wrong there. But Grady Dick, shout out to Grady Dick. If you ever want to come on the You Hear Us show, we would love to talk to you, Grady Dick. And I will probably say your name at least 27 times while you're on the show, Grady Dick.
He's not on a first or last name basis.
No, you are name. Grady Dick. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Unfortunately, if you become better than LeBron, you won't be. You'll be like that kid. That kid will be like Grady Dick and LeBron James. Like it won't be just LeBron or just James. It'll be Grady Dick. Yeah. But anyway, that is going to our college basketball talk. We're out here just getting to other things. Dakota Gettler in the chat said there was a kid he believed from Chanute that used to wrestle, that he was literally born for it because his name was literally Mike Wrestler. So,
I just read that and it was cracked up.
I mean, it's perfect. Like the David Baller. I mean, baseball Tyree or something like that. Like if you have that, you better play baseball. You can't be a superstar in football and be named baseball or something like that. Or pop up. That'll be a name one of these. Pop out.
Yeah.
That's kind of like who was the kicker for the wide right? No, what was his name? Blew it. Like, when they signed Blewett, I knew it was not going to be good for them because he blew it, kind of thing. But let's get into our cream of the crop, our bread and butter, the NFL. We did have.
Hey, I got one more.
Okay.
There's one more name. He was a receiver. I think he is signed. I don't know where he signed to go play, but he was in high school. But his name was DeColdest Crawford.
I mean, not bad. He was an All-American, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure I saw him on the. He had to pick his place to play or whatever.
Yeah.
At one point, saw him put his hat on. And I was like, "What kind of name is that?" Like that's up there with the Ha Clinton Dix with the.
That's a name for it right there.
Yeah. But moving on to the NFL talk, we're gonna get into the Chiefs. They're gonna get a little bit more love because one, I can't say the new Vikings GM name, and two, the Vikings didn't put out a really cool video of their new GM walking in. But Ryan Poles, Chiefs ex-exec, is now the new Bears GM. He's going to have Justin Fields. He's going to be working through that draft he got over there. I think within a day of being told that he was the GM, this is his intro to the Bears practice facility, their offices or whatever. But one, the door handles do it for me. But here it is.
morning, Bears fans. Let's go to work.
Let's go to work. He is ready to go to work. Ryan Poles, I mean, amazing. Granted, we have Brett Veach. Sucks we probably lost him because he probably is a great figurehead. He probably knows what he's talking about. He's African American also, which is awesome for the league. You know, they're finally starting to get more players of, more people higher up that look a lot more like the average player in the NFL. That helps out a lot, regardless of what side you're on in that argument. Right. I think it's amazing. We got to have more black coaches. We need to have more qualified. I should say that. We should have more, just don't throw him out there because he's black. But the Jim Caldwell, the Byron Leftwich, who is, we're not breaking news, has not happened officially yet, but it looks like he's going to be the new head coach of the Jaguars. But
you heard it here first. You hear us.
Yeah. Breaking news. No, yeah. Sources say, yeah. Our sources were Twitter. That's where we get most of our news from. But he is going to be a coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Eric Bieniemy possibly getting it. You know, obviously there's amazing white coaches out there too, but to be able to see that the African Americans are finally kind of getting their chance after so many years of not, and a lot of them are amazing coaches. Like, you hear a lot of people talk about Byron Leftwich. That I forgot who was talking. I think it might have been Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones or somebody, and it was like, hey, let me see your incentive sheet because I know you're getting close. I need to know what you need. We're going to get them for you. Like, I'm trying to get your incentives. Like, you want it kind of that's a player coach. Like, that's awesome. That people are going to go play for him if he's doing that, making sure that you get your incentives kind of thing. Now,
right.
Maybe
even the greatest quarterback of all time, in some people's opinion, mine. I mean, Tom Brady went and played with Byron Leftwich. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, he
and actually listened to him too. Like, didn't only, like Tom Brady got to pick and choose where he was going, and he chose that with Byron Leftwich down there. Like, for as much hate as I give BA for kind of his tactics and stuff, like he has Byron Leftwich and he has Todd Bowles. So he's given them opportunity. Like, the coaching tree of BA are mostly African American. Like, they're going to get their opportunity. Raheem Morris might get his opportunity here soon. But getting Ryan Poles and then Kiwisi Dufu Minsu at I botched that terribly. But getting him at the Vikings, like, you have some African Americans that are higher up that now, like, there will be a discussion. But if you don't hire African Americans under you, there can't be much hate pushed back because you're getting people in the higher up positions now.
Right, who makes the decisions.
Yes. So if you want to make those decisions to get your guys in there, hire them in. If not, you kind of need to stop that whole talk, to me personally, because if your own people aren't going to hire your own people, then who is?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it's going to be awesome to see, the Bears, I don't think have a coach yet, but they are in talks of possibly, I think Jim Caldwell has gotten a second and third interview. He loves Justin Fields.
He's at the Bears, right?
Yeah, Poles is the one with the Bears. Yeah.
Let's make sure I don't confuse Poles and.
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead. I sent you the picture of it.
I'm just gonna say Adofu Minsu. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to say the whole thing.
Adofu, yeah. Adofu Minsu.
Adofu,
yeah.
Minsu, yeah. Would Bieniemy, what he is trying to hold off and wait to the end of the season, try to snatch Bieniemy?
He might. I mean, Dable, they also talked about just more NFL talk after getting through these GMs. I do want to say before we move on that Kiwisi Adofu Minsu was the Browns VP of football operations, and now he's the Vikings GM. I know. It's probably not anywhere close.
Waiting for you to say it.
Yeah,
my bad.
You got to get it out there. It's kind of like Grady Dick. You just got to keep saying it until
it'll get easier.
Yeah,
it'll get easier.
But the Raiders are the only team without a GM now. In true Raiders fashion, they got to be the last of the party, the last ones to make it in, last ones to figure anything out. But that's my shot at the Raiders. Go Chiefs.
True statement. Sorry.
Yeah. But Brian Dable was possibly going to the Giants because the Giants got the Bills, one of the Bills guys, to be their GM. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like he might be the front runner for Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, which was kind of shocking to me too. I did the same thing when I read that. I was like, really? Okay. I don't know shit about anything, but that's interesting that
yes.
I thought he was a surefire pick to the Giants because they got the guy above him, and so maybe that's not gonna work out. But with that being said about the whole Miami thing, you know how you look good as a head coach if you're leaving Josh Allen? You go get Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And that when I was listening to the Dan Patrick show and they mentioned that, I was like, man, I kind of thought that everybody's kind of back on the Tua train.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be the final thing is that, Tua for Watson, they're basically about the same age. They, Watson's I think is obviously way better, but you probably want to see what Tua can be, kind of thing. Understandable.
Yeah.
You know what you have in Aaron Rodgers is he's a generational talent. He's one of the top 3 quarterbacks probably of all time, and to be able to get him to have the cap to get Devontae Adams with that
Yeah.
defense, where an anonymous defender has already said that I ain't trying to waste my time here if we have Tua as our quarterback because we ain't gonna win shit. Basically, like you go get Aaron Rodgers down in Miami. I've always said Rodgers needs to have a retirement home.
Yeah.
You somehow get a number 1 seed. Guess what? It's gonna be a lot nicer down in Miami with that humidity and a little bit warm weather than it is the opposite, and possibly having frostbite on your fingers because the frozen tundra is out there in the middle of December, January.
I mean, and that's one thing. Like, I can't. It sucks that they lost and everything like that. But your home field advantage is not even an advantage. It is a hindrance.
No, like
it's so cold. Like, it's so cold. You could tell it was hurting both offenses. Like, it's so cold you couldn't do anything. You can't throw. You can't catch net. You know how hard it is to catch in that cold weather. The ball's slippery. I ain't trying to run no routes in that.
Absolutely not. I was out there on Thanksgiving playing flag football in like 25-degree weather, and I was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah.
Imagine if the real field was -10. No, thank you.
Yep, no.
And the good news was
in the locker room.
Yeah,
catching me. I watch it on TV in the locker room.
Exactly. We can go play in the gym. We can go play like a little bit in the gym, but I ain't playing. Yeah, I ain't playing out there on the football field in -10-degree weather. Like, this ain't my job. Luckily, because that might be where I'd be like, "Hey, actually, I'm not feeling so hot."
No, I'm a healthy scratch during game time.
Yeah. Why? Cold.
Too cold,
Too
coach.
cold.
Too
Sorry.
cold.
Yeah.
Get to LA.
Exactly. But speaking of, I did have the question of where do you want to see Rodgers go? I kind of want to see him go to Miami. I think it would be interesting to see. I don't want him at Denver per se because then we have to play him twice. Like, if he plays in Miami, it's one of those. You could have the State Farm Bowl during the year because he's an AFC opponent, but like, you might run into him in the conference championship. You might not run into him at all. Kind of just a better. That's when you play the cream of the crop, the best of the best in the playoffs. You don't want to play one of the best twice to get into the playoffs because, I mean, if I'm Rodgers, I don't want to go to the NFC West for the 49ers, and I don't want to go to the AFC West with the Chiefs and the Chargers, and I mean even the Raiders. The Raiders made the playoffs, so like I don't know where the Raiders will be, but like they beat the Chargers and make the playoffs. Both the Raiders didn't beat the Chiefs, but they beat the Chargers beat the Chiefs. I mean, like, people beat up on everybody, and you want to throw another quarterback in there and you possibly not even make the playoffs? Like, that taints your career faster than going to Miami and you beat, you have to compete with the Bills.
Hey, hear me out on this one for Rodgers. I just thought of it, and it's crazy, and you're gonna laugh.
You said Detroit Lions.
Tom Brady retires.
Oh,
Aaron goes to the Buccaneers.
I can see it. I mean, it's one of those. I think where
it happened, but it just popped up.
Yeah, the thing with the Buccaneers though is, I think if Brady retires, they almost have to blow that up. Like, not blow it up, but they have to start anew because I don't know if Arians is going to want to be there for a rebuild. Who's their quarterback going to be? Granted, it's still a very winnable division because you still have the Saints who no longer have Sean Payton now. You have the Panthers who will probably go pick up another. They might bring Bridgewater back just because they did it once with like Cam Newton. They brought a quarterback back after paying him. Who knows? They might be going with Sam Darnold, or then you have the Falcons and Matty Ice down there. I mean, it just at the end of the day, they can't win shit. They've been broken since 27-3.
Yeah.
And if Brady retires, which I don't, that one's tough. Like, I don't listen to his Let's Go podcast. I'll say that out there. I haven't listened to it yet, but like I get the excerpts and stuff like that, and it's kind of like maybe he is, maybe Giselle's kind of running the show now. Like, she's like, hey, if you're winning Super Bowls, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. That first time you come home too early from the playoffs because you didn't win a Super Bowl, it's my decision now. Yeah, and that might be where it's at.
And my thing is, like, looking at him, like, at the end of the game and all that, kind of talking to the media and walking off the field. I wonder if he's just like, all right, man, I've had enough. I've won enough. Like, I'm only going to add to my legacy. It's already set in stone.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, on
like,
top of that,
what's
he's
what
never
what's
had
one more
a
Super Bowl? Like, it's awesome, but like, okay,
yeah.
is it worth my body and my
Yeah, like
quality?
that's the biggest thing is you walked away this year, no major injury. You're
Mhm.
not hurt. You're not. You can walk out basically in your prime, having a top 5 quarterback year because Father Time is undefeated. Eventually,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
happen. You've been talking like you wanted to play until you're 45. That would be the next year. I think you turn 45 in August. Um, but it's one of those like, do you go one more year, get hit the wrong way, you're
Mhm.
broken. You never feel the same. Um, do you go one more year, you don't make the playoffs because everybody in your division's gotten better, or
Yeah.
the the uh, the NFC as a whole has gotten better? It's just one of those. I don't quite know what you
Mhm.
do if you're Tom Brady, but if you still have that passion and you feel like you can make it because you are the GOAT of the NFL until somebody gets close to those championships or makes it to the Super Bowl or shows that they can do it, a la Patrick Mahomes. Um, you might as well just play too. But like that's the thing is that I talked to your brother Prashawn after practice today. Is like baseball, it's one thing that to say, oh, I need to be around my family. I'm not around my family a whole lot. Baseball goes from pitchers and catchers report usually early January. They're gone until October.
Yeah.
Football is August to February if you're the top team. If not,
Mhm.
it's August to December, beginning of January is usually your last game.
Right.
But even with that, your family can still go to the game because it's one game a week. And
Yeah.
then even if you're playing
At home,
away,
yeah.
even if you're playing away, you're still at home for, granted you're watching film, you're doing stuff like that, but like it's the same as running this podcast. Like I'm down in the basement a lot, but like my daughter comes down a lot. Like I can still see family quite a bit.
Mhm.
So football's not really like a family thing. His kids aren't in high school yet where you're missing a
Right.
lot of their stuff. Like granted, you might be missing their stuff. So like it might be just be, hey, go get one more year. You're done after this. Your kids want to see you. But like to me, I feel like your kids still kind of see you in a sense. And if you still have that passion, Brady could do it. Like if he took a year off and wanted to come back, they could do it. But like a lot of times you don't leave until you know it's for sure a done deal. Like
Mhm.
I did that with baseball in college. I decided I didn't want to play because thought it became a job. And sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I just would have played just to see what happened. I don't think I would
Yeah.
have went pro or anything, but it's like I still had some good baseball left in me. Like you don't want to. Maybe he does take the Bill Belichick way of leave 1 year early instead of
Mhm.
1 year late kind of thing, and like he just
Yeah.
looks like complete shit because then you look like Roethlisberger and people are making jokes about you, like, dude, you should have retired.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
wait, you're still here? What the hell? Like, we thought we lost you a couple years ago.
I do think that max it'll be one more year. If he comes back, it's only for one more year. He's not playing any more than that.
Is it
I
with
think
Tampa Bay?
yeah. Well, I think it's 100% with Tampa Bay. I don't think he leaves Tampa Bay.
It's just
What's
one of
the
those,
point?
like, I
Why
feel
would you
like
leave if you're gonna play one or two more years? What's the point of you leaving again?
here's just a little nugget. When
Okay.
did all this start coming out that he was thinking about retirement after what happened? After Antonio Brown got released.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything was good, going fine, everything was great, and then all of a sudden, management, coaches, whatever you say, started putting their head back in, like, hey, no, he's gone. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. He
The
could be a little
coach,
salty.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that I'm just kind of like, he loved it while it was going good, but then when people start telling him he can't do this, he can't have this, and this,
He's
then
gone.
hey, I'm gone,
You
kind of
can't
thing.
have his pistachio ice cream or what avocado ice cream he be eating. Is
That's why he left New England because he wouldn't let Gustavo Esteban Rodriguez on the
Yeah.
sideline with them, or the TB12 thing. So
Mhm.
he left that, and then now he moved on to the Bucks, and now the Bucks are saying, actually, no, we can't have Antonio Brown around because he's being a wild child. But granted, that's another story to talk about with Real Sports with Byron Grumble.
Mhm.
Antonio Brown got on there with his lawyer, said that they were making him take Toradol for 3 weeks in a row, the Dolphins game, all these games, getting him up, and then basically he hit that threshold of where like he can still feel the pain. It is what it is. You're on
Yeah.
one side, you're on the other. That's kind of when it comes to Antonio Brown. But I understand for some of these players, like that's the mental. Like I don't know if you saw it, but Brandon Marshall got on the the Dan Levitard show today and kind of talked about the mental of like coaches pushing you to do that, and then to a point
Right.
like either you say I can't do it anymore, and then you take the flack and you go all in, or
Mhm.
you just continue to do it and you don't say a word kind of thing. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, Antonio Brown's at that point where he hit his threshold of pain, said he couldn't go back in. The coach told him he was effing done, which was, to me, you don't make examples again out of players like that.
Right.
You made an example out of him. He said, all right, I'm going to show you up now because you showed me up. I'm done. Good luck making this look good.
Yeah.
Then you lose in the playoffs in the divisional round. You're getting joked on by Antonio Brown on
Because let's
Instagram
face
and
it,
everything, just
he was-
saying I
he was-
can't. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's probably a completely different game. You're not down 27-3. You have Antonio Brown.
Ooh, absolutely not.
You might not even be down at all if you have Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Because then you don't, like, you lost Godwin and Antonio Brown. You have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Gronk. That's a lot better than Gronk, Mike Evans, and
Whoever else is
Scotty
out there.
Miller. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Scotty Miller might be the next Wes Welker, whatever. Probably not, but like, that's who you're comparing. Oh, he could do the same thing as Antonio Brown was doing. No, he
No,
can't.
he can't.
So,
He can't.
he might be seeing the inner workings of the drama. Tom Brady wise, might be seeing the inner workings of the drama and everything that's happening, and is like, actually, I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not going back to New England. I'm not going here. I'm not going there. No other team was really built like the Buccaneers were to win. I'm just out. Or it might be Giselle saying, you're out.
You're out. Yeah, you're done.
Or it might be the kid that he kisses on the lips saying, Daddy, stay home, please. I don't know. You got to take your shots when you can. I took mine.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, maybe the Buccaneers go get Garoppolo after they make it to the Super Bowl this year, and they say, hey, actually, we got Trey Lance. We got to let you go, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting. It's good. I'm telling you, as fun as it
It's
is,
gonna
this
be
ride
wild.
through the playoffs and this regular season has been, this offseason is going to
this
be
offseason.
bonkers.
Yeah.
Wide receivers
gonna
that
be
are up to go.
Huge surprises.
Yeah. The wide receivers that can go anywhere, the quarterbacks that can go anywhere. I mean, there's running backs out there. Marlon
Rodgers is
Mack.
signing.
Marlon
Where
Mack was a good
Adams
quarterback,
is going.
good running back.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him all year.
And
Where's
he
he go?
got paid too, didn't he?
Yeah. Jarek McKinnon might get paid again after he got paid and then released, and then he's with the
Hey,
Chiefs.
Derek McKenna's been looking super good for us.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I always wanted him to play more, but I feel like he was just here and there. But yeah, I don't know. Josh Gordon, he might sign somewhere. Who knows?
No, he's back on our practice squad, so we have rights to him. Like, we can.
Okay.
I think that'll be good for Josh Gordon. I think next year we'll see a different. We'll either see him cut off the practice squad, or we'll see a different Josh Gordon that got a full year. I mean, he was 2 years out of the league. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Josh Gordon.
Right.
But one thing I wanted to touch on before we get into your Rafael Nadal, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Cheating scandal.
Yep.
Yeah. LeBron James. Don't know how old he is, but he is in his 19th year. I think he's like 37 or something like that. 19th year of the NBA. And he is leading the league in scoring in year 19. And to put that in perspective, Carmelo is scoring more than anyone else ever in year 19 also, except LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, Dirk. You know how everybody else has been in their 19th year has scored less than Carmelo Anthony has this year. Do you know what Carmelo Anthony averages per game?
No. 7.
14. 14 points per game is beating everybody else besides LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, and Dirk in their 19th year. So 14 points. That's not leading the league. LeBron's leading the league in scoring, so he's over 30-some points a game in year 19. Like, that's what is insane. Nobody, like, we are all witnesses. Like, people need to hop off the LeBron, Jordan train and just understand that you are looking at greatness, regardless if you think he's better than
It has nothing to do with if
yeah.
you think he's better than Jordan or not. Like, that dude is a freakishly well-conditioned machine.
The sustainability from 2002 or 2003 to 2022,
Yep.
not even regular human beings really can do that.
No.
And he's doing this.
I couldn't imagine playing 5 minutes in an NBA basketball game, let alone 82 games or probably 100-something the many times he's been to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, think of it. Like, when you were you're about his age, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 02, 03, you could probably easily play 25 to 30 minutes of basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't playing that now. No offense.
Yeah.
I watched you in the alumni scrimmage. You ain't getting up and down like you used to.
Hey, 3 minutes, a couple trips on the court.
Now, maybe if you spent, $1 million to $2 million on your body,
Right.
you could still do it. But, like, that's just insane. That even him and the league is outscoring everybody else. All these young whippersnappers that are supposed to be the next up and coming. He's still like, hey, remember me? I'm still here, and I'm gonna be here until my son gets in the league, and I'm still gonna play a year with him, and then we'll talk about retirement. Like this dude's gonna play probably 25 years in the league.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
It's just absolutely wild. But anyway, that was our NBA talk. We almost hit. Hey, a lot of sports today. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
We got to hit one more, even though I only gave you 10 seconds.
I know, it's real quick.
Of the Australian Open. But let's hear the Rafael Nadal cheating scandal.
All right, so Nadal, you can look it up. It's been kind of going around. He played against Dennis. I can't pronounce the guy's last name. Sherpalov or something like that. It's a Russian dude. Just the other day, and it was a 5-set match. And the deal is, Rafa Nadal kind of he's old, and it's kind of breaking down. And the big thing was the guy said he's playing against said Nadal was getting unfair treatment because on odd games you switch other ends of the court. So and then you get a break. So when it's Nadal serve, he takes forever between serves, catching his breath. And it's like an unwritten rule, like you don't take that long between serves.
Mm-hmm.
You get the ball, you bounce whatever, look at the player, make sure he's ready, then serve. Nadal gets up there, brushes his hair, digs in his butt, and just relaxes, takes his sweet time, and then serves it. But if anybody else does that, they're getting a warning from the umpire, or they get talked about, and it's a big ordeal. And like in between, and you get a minute Passover when you have to switch.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit down, take a drink, you got a minute, go. Nadal will go down, sit down, take the whole minute, then call for the trainer to get massaged. It's crazy. And then get up and go play, go serve. But like I said, if somebody else does that, their name is mud in the tennis court, the tennis circles. Granted, Nadal has 20 Grand Slams, so I get it. But it's to the point, it's like, is he getting to taking advantage of almost cheating per se, or is he just, I'm just that good, you guys just have to deal with it?
Yeah. The one thing I heard out of all that, and I can do two things at once, so I wasn't ignoring you. But the one thing I heard about that was unwritten rules. And as a baseball purist, you got to watch out for them unwritten rules, because guess why that sport is dying? Granted, tennis has never been what baseball was. No offense, but unwritten rules has ruined baseball. From you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you got to stand in the box, like all that. Like, you got to be careful with these unwritten rules. Now, granted, tennis probably is like everything attention span wise, speed up the game. It sounds like you're not get off my lawn guy, but like you're, hey, old man, let's roll.
Yeah.
Like we're doing runs out here. We ain't got time for your ass to go over there and go stretch out your leg. Like, get back on the court, play me. It's all about physical endurance. Like, and it is part of the game, because like, say that who was he playing that you said?
Shapovalov.
Shapovalov.
He's Canadian. My bad, guys.
Yeah, that's what I saw Dakota put. But Shapovalov, is that how you pronounce it?
It's something like Shapovalov or something like that.
Canadian. Good A.
SHAPO.
I ain't gonna get into the whole. But anyway, Shapovalov, like if he gets on if he wins 3 sets in a row and he's like, all right, I'm hyped, let's go, and then he's over there taking his bathroom break, taking his water break, taking his trainer break, like all that, like, it's gonna piss you off. Yeah. That's like somebody at halftime coming out, and then actually it's like, give him 4 more minutes. It's LeBron. He's in his 19th year. Like, I get it. Like, that does suck. You got to get out there. You got to play. Like, if you're gonna play at that pro level, play it. Now, granted, is this the same as like you get paired with Tiger Woods when he's 60 on the PGA Tour, and he ain't walking as quick as he can? Are you coming at the crown on Tiger Woods at 60? Like, hey, speed it up a little bit, or is it kind of the opposite? Like, he's not your number one player, so it's
I don't. But it's Tiger Woods. Come on.
I mean, you gotta get, like, why can't they have a cart?
That's one of the, and wear shorts. You know how hot it is.
Oh my God, yeah.
Florida.
You're playing in Florida, Atlanta. I mean, down there in Texas. You're going to Europe. I mean, I don't know how hot Europe is, but I mean, like, some places you're in like some pretty hot. You're in Australia and some. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah. And then real quick, Dakota brought up a good point. The weather, it's hot. It's summertime in Australia right now, so it's hot as shit down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's the Australian Open doesn't have. Do they have indoor No, they're outdoor, right?
It's outdoor, but I don't know if they have a dome over the main court.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still hot as hell.
It might be a retractable roof, but still, it's still hot.
Mhm.
And I get taking your breaks, but hey, man, this is just be professional. Be a professional. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, professional integrity is what you need, no matter what you're doing. But just to move on, wrap up the show a little bit. I did have a few more things we need to talk about. This is Kawisi Dufu Mensah's. This is so he started in finance.
I know we've been butchering names today. Just let you know.
Oh, we're
both of us
nailing it. Love it.
Love
Anyway, he went from finance to football. Now, I'm not saying his daddy was one of these analytic guys that was like, "Hey, you can't play the sport, so we got to do this." Might not be, but he went from finance. He's supposed to be a big analytics type of guy, but he got his economics degree at Princeton, and then he got his master's at Stanford. He was a portfolio manager for Taylor Woods Capital, and then he has several Wall Street ventures. I don't know what those could be. I don't know why that got put in there. And then he was the footballist for the Niners and the Browns, and then now he is officially the Vikings GM. And this is our guy.
Dang, that's impressive. That's an impressive resume right there.
Say his name one more time for me, right here.
Sorry, I can't. It's too small on my screen. I can't do it.
Kwesi, first name.
Kwesi.
Adofo. Is it a Dufu? I mean, is that how you say?
Adofu.
We need see. That's our problem. Our wives are teachers. We need to get them to help us with the vowels and the consonants and the. And then Mensah. I'm saying it's Mensah's, but it's Mensah.
I'm gonna Wikipedia to get me a pronunciation of this guy's name.
There you go. Maybe I could do that. I could. Maybe they'll say it out loud for us.
No, I can't even. I can't even find it. That's what's crazy. It's just a bunch of articles.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you can get talk to text.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Maybe these people say.
Get in the know.
Personnel, Wall Street background, ball official Judd executive.
And I'm told he does have a background in analytics, but a lot of folks that are going to be interviewed.
Brewing Company.
There's a lot of openings, and there's a lot of folks that are going to be interviewed.
Hey, where are you
Here is
trying
a
to figure
sleeper
that
candidate
out?
for you right here.
Okay.
Kwesi Adolfo Mensah.
Kwesi.
A guy that
Kwesi.
was with the 49ers,
Man, that's so
came over
Kwesi.
to the Browns to work under Andrew Berry. And he does have a background.
That's so crazy. Oh, quit it. Oh my goodness. All right, that's gonna be what we end on. It's a wrap. That's the show.
Wait. We got one more.
We got one more. Yes.
Did you see what the Chiefs did to the Josh Allen?
Yes.
Or the donated money to the
Raised I think it's over $250,000 now, and most of them were in $13 increments.
How disrespectful is I mean,
amazingly, it is so heart-touching, amazingly disrespectful.
Yes.
And for the Bills fans that say that that's terrible that they're doing it, I challenge you to give back $17 a piece in $17 increments since that's your quarterback's number up to that much. Because you know who's not complaining about all that? The Children's Hospital.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And I've also heard Buffalo, Potter informed me that Buffalo does that.
They do. They'll do a lot of that to like the opposing players' charities and stuff like that if they happen to lose or miss a kick or.
Let's spread the wealth, people. Yeah. Let's do that.
I mean, if you want to spread the wealth to you hear us, please come on down. We are looking for sponsors. Our only sponsor right now is PrizePicks, which you can use code you hear us for 100% deposit match. Up to $100. You throw $100 on there. We're not asking for all that. You can throw just $10 on there. You're going to get $20 to play with. You throw $100 on there. Guess what? You're going to have $200 that you can gamble with. Bet. I don't care what. Whatever you want to call it.
Wager.
You can wager it. 2 to 5, up to 10 times your amount. So if you want to throw $100 on there, get your $100 back. Throw $200 on a 5-man flex play. You hit them all. You're getting 10 times that. You're getting 2 stacks right there. And you can donate it all back to us.
Yeah,
not really. You don't have to donate it to us. We don't want your money. What we do want is your picks. For the love of God, give us your picks. I am on. I am not. I did not come out of the COVID cave hot.
No,
I was cold.
I was hot.
Yeah.
And then straight to trash can.
I was in the COVID cave cold, and I came out colder.
Yeah.
I went from missing it by 1 player to I have missed it by 2 to 3 the past couple nights. So let us know your picks. My Twitter is at Dylan Duffy 1991. The show's Twitter is at You Hear Us, and Trent's is
At T Steps.
send us your picks, send us screenshots of your picks, send us whatever you want, send us things to talk about. I did do a Patreon.
Patreon.
We're gonna try to figure that all out. I have there's some tiers you can do. The top tier, it will be 50 eventually. I haven't released that one yet, but with the top tier, if you do 50, you'll get to be a guest on the show once a month, and you will get a free merch swag bag. You'll get some stickers. You'll get a shirt, but obviously we can't release that until we get merch. But
yeah, we're working on it.
like we've talked about, 2022 is going to be a big year for us. We plan on growing this to the moon, and then to outer space, and then to Mars, because eventually we need to get there with Elon Musk, or we're not going to be alive.
Mars.
Yeah, Mars.
If you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's in that skit.
Yes.
MARS, Mars, bitches.
Yes, Mars, bitches. Yeah. But anyway, that has been Dylan Duffy and Trent Steps with You Hear Us. Thank you, Potter, for getting in there in the studio and keeping Trent on his P's and Q's.
Yeah.
And for all the information we got. But that'll be Duffy out for the night.
Boom.